All right, so a quick little recap to figure out where we are, and then we will be jumping right into finish off the last encounter. So, we started last time with you all exiting the city of Valdiras and making your way along the Way of Sparrows, following and attempting to track down the solemn known as Valdis, each with your own motivation behind it, but ultimately in an effort to acquire rare components, both medical and spell. As you traveled along, the first couple of days of the trip were mostly boring. Mostly boring. Simple travel, uneventful evenings, until you ran into Lord Francisco Alcon, a member of the Order of the Gilded Hand. In passing, you only spoke to one of his knights, and the terms of the conversation were not aggressive, simply asking each other how the road was and continuing on with your path. This lord, however, is well known to one of you, and not for good reason. As you continued along, prior to entering the cliffs and canyons of the mountains of Valdiras, you all had a conversation. Ahead was a split in the path forward. One path known for banditry, but being the faster option. The other known as a much more pleasant path, but not without danger of its own, and still took longer to traverse. You all ultimately decided to take the shorter path, although you would look to see if there were signs or any signs of a possible route taken by Valdis. As you approached the canyons, you saw two figures just standing in the road, kind of blocking either way forward. As you all jumped into the fray, recognizing these creatures as undead, you'd start to hack at them, trying to put them down. Just when you dropped one, and it seemed like you'd easily resist this encounter, more figures emerged from above, including an incredibly large one that would roar kind of defiantly in the moment. And so, let's go ahead and switch over to combat scene. Everything should still be in play. Certain parties have obviously been removed, as well as some of the enemies, just to ensure that this encounter is a bit more balanced appropriately for the number of players we have. And so, let me get some music going, and we will begin directly with Persian's turn. So, all right, music should be going. Again, adjust the bot to your liking. You don't even have to listen to it if you don't like it. So, all right, jumping into the fray, Persian. Because now you've been grabbed. This creature is holding on to you tight with one hand, and it's already starting to kind of rear its head in an attempt to kind of start snapping its jaws in your direction. So, let me go ahead and post this, because at the very least you should be able to.
Yeah, if you could repost it.
Yeah.
The grapple stuff real quick.
So it should be this, right? We won't count this as a roll. It's literally just to get the description of it, because I think when I did it the other way, it wouldn't give you the description. You can read the grab thing, right?
No, because you rolled it to yourself.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, we're seeing a private.
There you go. All right, my bad. But yeah, so you can see the grab part now, though, right?
I see that I have the condition. I don't see the...
So I guess it's hidden. It's hidden just for me. Yeah.
You've been held in place. I can see the grab condition at least now.
Okay, well, so just so you know, the creature kind of automatically grabs you. Whenever you are grabbed,
flat-footed, immobilized.
Yeah, and you can use the escape action to try and release from the creature. So.
Right, I had grabbed my actions there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I will try to escape.
Okay. All right.
Does that not do it? That does not.
Highlight the creature. And so.
Select target.
Yeah, double check this.
I'm gonna delete. I'm gonna delete this. And let's try that again.
Okay.
Nope.
Well,
I
either
guess
way,
I'll just...
you're basically making a unarmed
strike.
attack. Yeah, trying to beat the DC. So.
Is it 13? Beat the DC?
13. Let me see. Yeah, it just barely. So, the creature's holding onto you tight, and you're like trying to rip back and forth. And this creature's actually on fire as well, I should say, right? It's starting to kind of ignite in flame. And so, it takes kind of all your strength in this moment to get this creature's hands off you, but you do kind of rip yourself away, and so you are no longer grabbed. All right, so that's one action. Two more.
Yeah, realizing the severity of, oh wow, these are very strong. Not sturdy, but definitely strong. He is going to rage. Nope. Oh, this. Great. Give me the condition, please.
Okay.
Give me the
so,
condition, please.
There you are.
Give me the condition. Let's go. And then I will take my good old halberd, and I don't suffer the multi-attack penalty, right, from the escape?
I don't think the escape action. Oh yeah, you do, because it's an attack action.
It is.
Yep.
Oh, that's
So.
crazy.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So, let's see. Well, you targeted yourself there, so.
No.
Yeah, you did.
What?
Target Hercian.
Oh, come
AC
on,
14.
I moved the target.
Yeah. But if you're looking to hit, that is, in total, would be. Is that 13 total to hit? Okay.
Yeah.
You do hit, so go ahead and roll damage. We'll just apply it to the appropriate.
And then.
Big hit. Holy shit. Okay.
Whoa.
Alright.
Okay.
So, big damage roll. Let's see. Where the fuck is this one? Yeah. You slice through the creature, bringing your halberd down and kind of straight eviscerating from the shoulder all the way through. Just a quick slice through. The body just crumbles at your feet. So I think that's your full action, correct?
That is my full turn.
All right. So from above, you're going to watch as this large, brutish creature looking down at you, having just roared, is going to take a leap and is going to basically jump down and directly on you. It is going to take some damage from the fall, which will be 8 total. So I will fix that. And then I need the two of you to make reflex saves. So if you go to your character sheet, reflex.
14.
14? Okay. All right.
This is
so,
better.
Yeah.
19.
Okay. So, Shad, you're going to take 2 points of damage. And Hercian, you're going to take 4 points of damage as this large creature jumps down. You are able to kind of push yourself up against the wall to avoid it kind of collapsing down on top of you, but it still does hit you kind of in passing. Mostly it's kind of limbs as it kind of slams into the ground, standing there. You can tell even with the cracking of the bones as it lands on the hard ground that it took a lot of, it definitely took a good amount of damage just throwing itself to the ground. So take those points of damage, and then so that's leap 1, and then secondary attack is going to be, let's see, Okay. So. You are all basically in reach. So I'm gonna roll a d4. So 1 for ice, 2 for Escucho, 3 for placeholder, aka Shidran, and 4 for Hercy.
I was wondering what the deal with that was.
So
It's intentional.
that is 2 for Escucho. And so the creature is going to make a wide arm sweep.
So I took damage right now?
No, it's just targeting you for the next attack, I should say. Sorry.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, because there was 4 of you all within reach, so I just kind of rolled at random to see who would hit or who would go for. So as it slams down, it just like almost like a club. It just kind of swings in your direction, looking to bash you. That is a 19 that hits. And so you take 6 points of damage, and as a free action, the creature can push you.
By the way,
5 feet.
did the zombies bleed?
What's that?
Did the zombies bleed?
Oh, did the zombies bleed?
Yeah.
Do
they have blood?
Do they have blood? What is this for? I guess, like, how would it apply? Salt wound. Creature that is blood and not as minus hits you with a melee strike. Using your class, whichever is higher. Persistent acid damage. Okay. It has blood.
Like it's acid, so it
Yeah.
can like chemically burn the zombie if it has blood, I guess.
Yeah, so let me check the stat block, because there is something to do with zombie undead creatures not bleeding in general. So,
well, it says it doesn't need to bleed; it just needs to have blood.
yeah, but we're you know what I mean, like
yeah, well, I get what you mean.
Yeah, because
but
if it's not going to bleed, then I'm probably not going to have it.
Yeah,
suffer
but
from blood stuff.
Yeah, but in that case, like I only want to use the feature when I've seen like another zombie bleed or not bleed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just
Does
doing
it use at all?
Is just doing the Batman thing, like, do you bleed? You will.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, since this specific since these creatures specifically cannot be like harmed by blood stuff, I'm gonna consider that they don't have blood, right? Basically, because they don't need blood to function.
In that case, I wouldn't attempt to use the feature.
Okay.
Or like can't use the feature, I guess, because the trigger condition is not met.
Yeah. So, let's see. Push as a free action. Let's see. Okay, so you are shoved 5 feet away as it slams its arm into you, and we'll just say it kind of throws you up against the stone wall behind you, and that'll be the full turn. And Ignis.
All right. I don't need to move to make a melee strike against the big guy, right? I can just do it.
No, you do not. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. I'll try.
Right?
What's that?
Sort of.
I think when the line passes through, or like where the rules for
Yeah,
flanking
he's.
again?
I believe it has to be. They would have to be here to count. It'll automatically do it. So we'll see if it counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for this, Ignis is gonna do. He's gonna like do his default thing and try and see if it works. So he'll try and analyze the weakness of this shambling giant undead thing.
Okay.
Exploit his vulnerability to inflict some more damage. So exploit vulnerability and see if it succeeds.
Okay. So
that's just the lore esoterica check against its class DC.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'll just do the check.
let's see. So, yeah, and so this is the basically the recall knowledge attempt, right? To learn something about its weaknesses.
Yeah. So basically,
Okay.
if it's greater than the creature's class DC, when he attacks it, he can add additional damage equal to its innate weakness if it has any.
Sure.
If it doesn't, he'll just use the other mortal or the personal antithesis.
It has 2, so I'm wondering, do you learn both types, or do I just like, should I roll and just say like this is what you learn? This is one of the creature's weaknesses.
I think it's on a critical success you learn everything, but on the regular success you learn I think one of them. I'll
One of them.
pull it up.
All
I think it says 1 second.
All right, I'll do 1 and 2 for one of the weaknesses and 3 and 4 for the other, right? So it's kind of random rather than. Okay, so you recall an
You learn one of its highest weaknesses. So yeah, it says over on text. So if you succeed, you learn one of the highest ones, or the highest one.
If it has multiple with the same value. Okay. So, looking at this creature, taking a look at it, undead creatures in general, but especially this one, so large, so big. As you take a look, there are things inside this creature's body that, if slashed, could easily kind of be put down, essentially, right? The tendons, the stuff that allows this creature to move. If those are slashed away or hacked at, you get the feeling that it would cause quite a bit of damage to this creature. So, slashing.
Okay, perfect. So he just kind of like focuses on the sword technique and makes a regular attack against the zombie. So is it like slashing 2 or slashing 3, or is there a value for the weakness? That'll just be the added damage value if it hits.
All right. Yeah, so you are exploiting weakness. Basically giving your weapon the slashing. Condition.
I've got the implement's empowerment ticked off, so it should add a +2, and then whatever the weakness is, there'll be another plus whatever if it hits.
Yeah, if it is. All right, go ahead and roll. That absolutely is for big damage. So go ahead. That's a critical hit.
Let me do critical hit. I don't know what the rules for criticals with this thing. Let me just roll the damage and see. Or
yeah, just hit critical, and it should. Yeah. The system is really good about automatic math, so it should apply, and then. Okay, yeah. So.
It added the implement's empowerment. Yeah. So I think at this point it.
That's just a really terrible roll, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's still gonna add the. You still have to. What it didn't do is it didn't add the weakness thing. Yeah.
Okay, so it should be 14.
The
total.
slashing.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like +2. So yeah.
Okay,
14
so
total damage.
do. Oh right. Oh, wait, what the fuck?
22. That's.
Is it 12? No. Why is it doing that? Weak to slashing. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay.
Did it add it into the critical?
It did like double. Yeah, it did like double. So it double accounted for the slashing. Yeah. So that's it. But it didn't get the 2, so we'll say that it's. I had to manually do that. All right. Yeah, you slice into this creature, and again, as your blade passes through, your blade kind of has this momentary kind of magical edge to it, right? That allows it to kind of quickly slice through, and as you do, it goes right through, and you can see the various body parts inside of it start to kind of already, like pulled thread, separating with a quick slash through. Definitely a lot of damage. So.
All right, that's first and second action. I think I just have to. I'm just gonna dash away, just because I don't want to get slammed against the cliffs. And yeah, just dash like 25 feet east.
All right, so you're trying to move. All right. Perfect. So
And yeah, that's the turn. And that'll just keep me within distance. I've still got, okay, one thing I will add is he's under the exploit vulnerability. So if he attacks anyone within like 30 feet, I can interrupt his attack with my bell as a reaction.
okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. So, following that, the creature from up top will also do a leap, throwing itself off the edge down into the fray. As it lands, it will take a considerable amount of damage. So,
Do the Wilhelm scream.
yeah. So, yeah. All right. Perfect. So, as the creature lands, it is made to take the damage. I think it's actually going to move. How much movement is this? 25. Okay, so additional 25. I think this creature's coming right after you, Ignis. So it slams into the ground. It'll kind of, with broken bones, kind of just pick itself up. You know, you can hear the cracking underneath it, and then it will just kind of throw itself forward. This one looks a little bit different than the others that you've seen. So, all right, Shattering or Shadurin. Sorry.
Okay, question. The cart, does that count as difficult terrain, or does it require any sort of check to get back up on it?
To get back up on it, I wouldn't say it's difficult terrain. I would say you could probably, like, yeah, I wouldn't make you make a check to jump into it, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, Gad is going to turn to Hersian and say, well, isn't this a pickle? Stay safe. And he's going to do one.
So,
and from his slight bit of distance that he's got, he's going to turn around and he's going to Divine Lance the big guy. Now,
okay.
Divine Lance requires an alignment statement, but we don't do that in Ekros, really, do we?
Yeah, so I wouldn't really bother with that.
Thank you, that's all. Right, let's just do this then.
Yeah.
Come on, there we go.
Fine lands.
So, right. Does it matter which of those I...
I don't think it does. Let's see.
Well...
No, I don't think so. I think just whatever you... Yeah.
I'm just going to go chaotic because that's very much Shad's nature.
Perfect. All right. So, go ahead and make the attack. So, one was movement, now it's attack.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Rough.
So, the...
Back to the normal rolls.
Yes. The Divine Lance kind of comes out, and as you shoot it towards the creature, actually I'm going to say that the slice from Ignis has kind of set this creature like almost like off balance, right? Like it's kind of leaned with like an unnatural bend to its body, and it kind of like it's turning and in the fray, and as you just throw the Divine Lance, it just, you know, pierce through over the shoulder and kind of slam into the ground. All right. So, anything else?
No, that's it. It's a double action Divine Lance, so that's all three.
All right, let me go ahead and remove this next participant, and then boom. All right, Scoocha. So, having been kind of bludgeoned by the large arm of this brutish undead creature.
Yeah, when Ignis slashed at the brute, was like possible to see that it was like particularly effective.
Absolutely, yeah. Being this close, for sure. Yeah, there's no way you can miss it.
Yeah, and you can drop stuff as a free action, correct?
Yeah, dropping something is a free action. Yes.
Yeah, then
picking
I would
it up,
like,
it will cost. Right.
Yeah, I would drop my parrying scabbard that I have drawn.
Perfect.
I will draw a dagger. That's
All right.
my first action. As my second action, I will from here. I should have ranking, correct?
Believe so. Yeah, I think at that point it should count. We'll just move this just to keep it out of the way.
Yeah, and then I would strike at the brute with my dagger.
Okay. All right. So.
And I would use the finesse property to do slashing damage.
Okay, perfect. That does hit. If you can,
versatile is the property.
yeah. If you can, though, target the creature.
Oh,
Obviously, to make sure it automatically does it. But there we go. So, so I think that's 4. Oh, damn, that is a max roll in both. Perfect. So, yeah. Oh wait, actually, if it's a 26, and if this is, I believe, that is also a critical. So we will. So that'll be 8, and that'll be 12, plus. So it's 16 plus an additional 10 for the slashing, right? So 26 damage total. Perfect. So let me double check this. Yeah, that's why you gotta be sure to target, because.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, good. So that puts this creature. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, you hack right through this creature. And as you do so, again, using the dagger, right? You carve right through it, and immediately there's this immense kind of separation between the body parts inside this creature, and it kind of snaps with an unnatural bend to its body. But still standing. Although, at this point, based on the heavy attacks it has gotten, you get the feeling that it's not going to stand for much longer.
Yeah, like after this strike, I've used all my actions.
Okay, perfect. So, next up is going to be Hersian. So, let me remove this participant.
Well, you said it's not going to be standing. I think I'm going to do it. I'm just do a little bit of this, that. Please don't target myself again.
All right. So, definitely hit. Go ahead and roll. Okay, and so what kind of damage is a halberd? Sorry, just want to double check.
It is piercing.
Piercing. Okay, so all right, so it'll just take the full amount of damage there. Okay, so absolutely. So you take a big swing with the halberd, and you kind of well, I guess you shove the halberd forward, using like the spear point of it to kind of dig into the body, and as you pull the blade free, yeah, this large kind of brute is still standing, but very, very, the body is quickly like coming apart almost as you watch it live.
He's gonna, like, the body's deteriorating. He's gonna take another swing with his halberd, using the axe head to just dig through that part, and cleave straight on through.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, unfortunately you go to slash this time, but your first attack is kind of already kind of move the creature in such a way, and it just kind of stands there kind of in space, and as you make that big swing, the body just moves just narrowly out of the way as the blade swings by.
Flat-footed. So a third attack would only have a -8, essentially.
Essentially.
Nah, I got nothing better to do.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna take one more.
Take the opportunity. Yeah, a critical miss doesn't do anything bad to you, right? So there's
Yeah,
always
exactly,
a chance.
you know?
Always a chance.
Not on that die roll.
Yeah, unfortunately. So you go to make the second attack, and this creature now is kind of like moving back and forth, just kind of swaying in and out of the way. Maybe like momentarily focused on Escucho, and then, kind of back. So, all right. So that is your full turn. It is now the large, brutish creatures. It's going to make an attack. So how does that bell work, Ignis?
I'll just put it up. If it
Okay.
makes a strike, it'll. I'll just put it up in a second.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, let me read the information regarding it. It's gonna swing at you, Hersian. So, okay. So, trigger: the target of your exploit vulnerability makes a strike or casts a spell that would affect one of your allies. Requirement requires that you're holding the bell thing. So, is that
Bell's like my default offhand. Like it's always in my offhand.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, perfect. All right, and then depends on whether the trigger was a strike. So it's disrupting harmony because this is going to be a strike.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
target must succeed or become enfeebled or clumsy till the end of your next turn. A will save against your class DC. Okay, so I believe that's 16. So, all right. This doesn't stop it from attacking, right? It just...
No, it just makes it... Like,
okay, perfect.
Like, you can hit it or something.
Should have saved that for the attack, huh? Fuck, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, fortunately, it makes the save. It seems the bell, as you kind of ring it out momentarily, like, you know, in a quick flick of your wrist, unfortunately, it just doesn't draw the attention the way you would think. And so, when I make a strike against her...
Country music listener.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so that'll definitely hit. So first attack will definitely hit. You will take 8 points of damage. And as a free action, yeah, I guess like the way it hits you, it throws you up against the wall, right? Like you bash your back against the wall. I'm not gonna make you take damage or anything for that. But you know, thematically, right? Like it has you, you know, literally between like a rock and a hard place as it kind of batters you against it. And then I think in like a twisting swipe, it's gonna go for the next closest person, Skucha, and we'll make a secondary attack, just kind of swinging widely around it. 12 will miss. So, you see it coming this time, Skucha, right? You're no fool to this one 2 times in a row. The kind of large club-like arm just kind of swings over by. You hear the wind, you know, kind of whoosh right by, narrowly avoiding, but avoiding nonetheless. So, Ignis.
Okay. Since Big Guy's still under the effect of the exploit vulnerability, until I do it on someone else. So I'm gonna dash up to him and try and make another single strike and then dash away. Because he's not good at taking hits as much.
Fair enough.
So he's just gonna like steady the bell in one hand, ready his long sword, and just like run up, take a strike, and let's see how it goes.
Okay. Run right up. You sure you want to move there?
Let's see. Is that next to Hersian or?
I mean, I'm asking because
trying to think, because if I move, well, oh no, wait, I could flank. Well, I want to flank him, but then I have to go around this guy. I'm not sure how the movement would work.
Isn't he already flanked? I think like he has the flat-footed motion.
Oh no, it only accounts. He's only flanked to you and Hersian.
To one,
It doesn't count to everybody. Yeah.
But if Ignis gets alongside Carl's character, would he not still count as being flanked?
Yeah, my move speed is 25, so I can do that.
Yeah. If you went
by
by
right next to,
if you went
right
like up by Escucha, like here, you would still be you'd be flanking.
Yeah, that would work. So yeah, I'm gonna try
perfect.
and trigger that instead.
All right. So go to move your character there. But the main reason I asked is because of this. Attack of opportunity as you leave the creature's space. It is going to turn and kind of swing a grip out at you with its fist.
All right. Do I? Ouch.
All
All right.
So I need you to make me a fortitude saving throw.
All right.
You're looking to beat a 16. Okay. So you do beat it, thankfully. Perfect. And in passing, you will take 4 points of damage, and then okay. There's this automatic grab thing, but I think it's when it's the last action. So I'm not sure if reactions count as an action to the point of being able to grab a hold of you. So I won't do that now. Yeah.
Thematically, I think it doesn't like it'd be logical for it to be part of its turn as opposed to a reaction.
Yeah.
Because like it's like grappling and it's like this is just like kind of quick.
Yeah.
like,
yeah. Exactly.
Lashing out as it moves away. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, he's bleeding, cursing. I was like, fuck. And yep. So he'll make the strike.
Oh yeah. You'll take 4. There you go.
All right.
All right. But yeah, go ahead and make the attack. Okay. That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah, whatever you roll at this point.
Okay, so it accounted for that, and I think you add the slashing
Yeah.
2. Yeah. Or whatever it is.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's 5. Oh, you know what? Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so easy enough. You exploiting the weakness of this creature and very aware of it, right? You move out of the space and you take this kind of quick slash from this kind of bloated, larger kind of zombie, undead creature. And as you kind of cross the space, you slash out at this large, massive brute, and with a cleave through all of the remaining kind of tendons and things inside this creature's body that are kind of keeping it upright and able to move, kind of come away with a quick snap, and the creature will then collapse under its own weight, dead in the middle of the ground.
You're just gonna be like, I'll say a quick quip or something like, you know what? At least it's a good thing it didn't explode.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
And I need everybody to make a reflex save. No, I'm just kidding. That's fucking.
Oh no.
Oh, come on.
Was it a swarm? Was it a swarm of brutes, Trill? Was it a swarm?
Yeah, it's a swarm. So,
Swarm of little zombies.
no, I was being facetious with the reflex. So, yeah.
Come on,
What bursts out of this creature is literally a swarm of tinier zombies. No.
Just joining in.
Yeah, just joining. Okay.
You failed it from within the cart. Just pointing it out.
Yeah, fair enough.
I failed it from inside the. I've got one action
more
left,
action,
so I
yes.
think I'm gonna just like does climbing over the dead thing count as difficult terrain, right?
Yeah, it would be in this case.
All right.
Because of how large it is.
So, all right, so I'll just like step over and like go across to where Hercian is, just trying to get a bit of distance from the thing that kind of clawed at me.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
And yeah, that's the turn.
Okay, so creature, I'm gonna make it a roll. I only have a D4, so I think we will hope for a 75% chance here. We can go 1 Escucho, 2 Ignis, and then 3 Hercian. Just because the creature is mindless, doesn't really have an idea of what it's doing. Okay, so just focusing Hercian. So with that, the creature will take 1 action to move up. And the secondary action will be to grab out at you with its bloated arms and hands. They will miss though, so it kind of reaches out at you. We'll say it kind of claws at the armor that you wear, but it doesn't actually, damage you or your skin. And so, Shadur.
Well, the field's pretty thinned. Shad found his comfy place in the car and says, "You're doing well, boys. Let's have another go at this.
Perfect.
And he's gonna throw the divine lance at it again.
Yeah. All right. Bring that energy up.
Oh, so I roll onto
Does
the
it?
one.
It does hit. So I'm gonna roll damage on that. Okay. So this is chaotic energy. Absolutely. What? Give me a second. Let me.
Resistance to chaotic energy.
Well, I'm wondering. No, it doesn't have any resistance, but it has immunities, and I'm wondering if chaotic energy is some sort of mental thing. Yeah.
Chose the one that mattered.
Yeah, we'll just say
Sorry.
it's. Yeah. Let's see.
Thanks for the light show, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, hits it and just like bursts harmlessly off its forehead or something.
Yeah, let me double check this, because I just want to make sure, like, I'm obviously gonna let the damage go through. I just want to make sure, like, if in the future this something like this comes up, maybe it'd be easier to just go with like a different one, right? Because I don't want to play into like the chaotic and evil and good energy shit. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say I'll just have to do it manually. So 6 points of damage.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything I
Okay.
can do that is worth doing now.
I will say, as you look at these creatures, there is a bit of like a. You get the feeling, at the very least, that anything to kind of affect its mental state is probably not gonna come through, right? It's probably not.
We learned that last time when I did stun.
Oh, correct. Yeah. When you did stun or
But-
daze, right?
But you can
Days, that's it.
demoralize them. But you can demoralize them.
I don't know.
Interestingly enough.
I don't think so.
I think
Yeah, I don't think it would. I don't think it would happen here in this case. Specifically, because they're mindless.
Mhm.
What's the? I mean, I've got my sling in my hand, but that's not honest, because I started the battle that way, so I don't think that's fair to say. Oh yeah, I'm going to take a shot with the sling, even if it was in range. So I'm just going to sheathe that, because you shouldn't have it out anyway. So it's not,
All right.
not
So-
an action.
I mean you can just leave it there. You're in the cart. Like
Yeah.
It is an action.
it'll stay
Well,
there.
well, it is
You don't
there,
need to sheathe it.
But it wasn't. He shouldn't
Oh,
have had it out in the
I
first
see what you
place.
mean. Yeah, it should never
Yeah.
been out in the first place. Okay,
I mean, he's holding on to his staff, so it's fair he's got that in his hand.
fair enough.
There's not a hell of a lot else he can do at the moment. Has anybody taken any reasonable damage that they want to heal from? I
I'm
don't
not half health.
Who's that? Right.
Full health? What? Who has full health?
In that case, just because this thing isn't over yet, although I don't think there's a chance he's going to take a hit, I'll throw a heal at Hersian then.
All right.
What the hell? I better target him, haven't I? Let's just delete that.
Oh, so you're doing
Account.
the first one, right? The basic.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Oh wait, so
Touch range though.
yeah, unfortunately, the first one will be
Ranged.
yeah. The first one is a
Well,
range of
that's
touch.
touch. Oh, right,
Yeah,
sorry, that's my
so-
mistake.
No problem.
There is
Is that one
absolutely
clause?
nothing else I can do here.
Perfect.
I'll tell you what. I'll just cast shield on himself.
Okay. Yeah, it's
'Cause
free.
he can,
Yeah, it's free.
he can do that.
Yeah, no. Fair enough. All right, so you'll drop a shield on yourself just in case, right? Others may show up, right? It may not be out of the woodworks.
There you go.
entirely.
There you go.
Perfect.
I've
All
played
right.
your games before.
So, escucho.
Yeah. That light show, I would
Yeah.
move to here.
Yeah, perfect. Flank the creature.
Exactly, and then hit it once with my rapier.
Okay. You go to pierce through it, slashing or not slashing.
No, it's piercing.
That absolutely
I
hits.
didn't. I forgot
It's all
to
good.
select the creature target again.
It's all good. Going to roll damage on that.
Is that not a critical due to
That's,
how?
yeah, I would have thought 26 would be
Oh,
critical.
yeah, it absolutely is a critical. Sorry about that. So we'll just take this. It's doubled. So this is a ton of damage. I think it's going to be 12, 10. So that's 22 plus 4. So 26 total. That is Jesus Christ. All right. So yeah, before you see the creature kind of rear back, and this one, especially above the others, right? This has like this like kind of pus and this bloated body to it, and as it kind of rears back, it is about to like kind of unleash on Hersian. But you step into the way, or step up behind it, and brandishing the rapier, you kind of pierce it straight through the spine with a loud crack, and the creature will now fall at your feet, easily disposed of. So, all right, and let's see. So, with that in mind, we're gonna go ahead and end the encounter and drop out of initiative. So, looking around, some of you are wounded, others, well, some of you more wounded than others, right? But in any case, right, you have felled this large creature, and the others that accompany it. Looking down at your feet, Escucho, this one especially, kind of as you pierce through it with your rapier all the way through the back, as it's fallen, that wound in the gut from where you kind of pierced it from behind kind of opens up more and more, and this kind of nasty, kind of pus-like substance starts to spread out from its body, kind of covering the ground around it. And so, going first, Shad.
Well, now, boys, what's another to do? I kept the horses running for us, but I'd say before we go, and even though I'm a gravedigger by trade, I think we should burn these boys.
Mm,
Burning is a good idea.
you can take care of that.
Before you burn anything, I would prefer if you would pull out the other trait and treat my wounds first.
Has anybody seen where that Titano fella made off to?
That's a good question.
Was it?
I
I could have sworn he was here.
I think he ran away, probably.
I thought I heard his back scraping against that cliff face.
So, yeah,
Probably got a bit
around.
of paying off for somewhere else.
Yeah, looking around, you are short one party member. But
Wait.
for the sake of the game, we're not gonna,
Yeah.
we're not gonna make that a thing.
Must have been the wind.
Yeah, must have been the wind.
Yeah.
Or a ghost was following you this whole time in illusion. So
It's a shared dream.
fair enough.
Shared.
Fair trade.
All right, Ignis.
Ignis is gonna just scrape a few samples of their ichor or something. He's gonna see if he can scrape some biological samples off these dead things just for
Okay.
his analysis later.
Fair enough.
And in the meantime, he's gonna look at the damage that Escucho's done to the, he's done a lot of damage to the zombies here. He's just gonna be like, is this what you're planning to do to the esteemed gentleman that we passed earlier? Are you taking out your aggression on these guys?
Well, we see what opportunity may present itself, but I just feel it in my bones that justice will strike soon.
Hmm.
And Escucho is like looking off into the distance, or like somewhat into the sky.
Fair enough.
The dream was something. What was the dream again? We had like a procession one.
Yeah, the dream that your character would have had. The dream of the hungering star.
Yeah, he would gaze in the direction where the star might show up.
Fair enough.
If it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So, so you're trying to scrape some sample parts off this body. Give me I guess a medicine check. I don't know. Like, you can probably argue for another one, but
Medicine or nature, maybe. Like I've got the same skill.
either one. Yeah, either one will be fine.
Yeah, sure.
So you got up close and personal, and you're going over this large one, right? As you look to scrape some samples from it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect enough. And so, Scucho. So before we'll jump into that, the result of that. But Scucho, what were you looking to do?
Yeah, I wanted to go to chat and ask. Aren't you also a healer by trade? Can you look at my wounds?
Right then. Okay, question.
Yeah.
If we think we're going to have a rest anytime soon, I don't mind blowing the spell. On the other hand,
I wanted to do the medicine check
you want to do the medicine check
with
Yeah.
the healer's kit, assuming you have it.
It's treat wounds. Yeah. So if you look at your
I literally want
exploration-
you to treat my wounds.
Yeah.
double check.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've got healer's tools.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We also do have minor elixirs of life.
Technically not anymore, because the guy who was making them is gone.
Yeah.
It was just an illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was no more.
The treat wounds is an exploration action at this point. Are we going into that, or are we still?
Yeah.
mean,
we're
yeah.
out of encounter
Okay.
essentially. Yeah. Like.
Very well. I will go. Okay there, Scucho. Just hold still a minute and just stick this stick in your mouth and bite down. And he's gonna go for it.
You're fair enough. Okay.
What kind of stick do you give me?
Yeah. One from the
dirty one.
ground. Yeah.
Have you ever treated people in your life?
I have amazing results of getting people off their back.
Jeez.
Into
Right,
graves? Into graves or out of graves? I'm concerned now.
All right. So,
What do we need to...
it's a medicine check. But I think if you click, I don't
Oh,
wanna
that's the
do
skill
it.
set then.
yeah, but there's a treat wounds macro bar, and I don't know if,
It's
don't know
on
if I-
actions, like you can map it to actions, I think.
yeah, I just want to ensure that it's not, you know what I mean. I don't want to like make the roll and have it.
Can
not
Can I
work.
drag that down to there then? Yes, let's try that one then.
We'll see.
Can you? I think you can target and do treat wounds, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give that a go.
Let's see if it'll make the
Delete
roll.
that
There's a critical weird one that does damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, I've targeted it. Let's try again.
Yeah, it did the same thing. So you just have to make the medicine roll like by your own. Yep. Yeah, so you just gotta make the medicine check.
Fair enough. Proficiencies. Medicine. He's very fortunate. I've got a +3.
Oh my god.
And there it is.
There it is.
Oh shit. Okay, well. I'm gonna let you to go ahead and click that 1d8 on the critical failure, Shad. I'll let the amount be of your own making.
Roll damage. You attempt to heal your teammate. Roll damage.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going great.
We'll say that, you know, maybe from the large like clubbing attack, maybe like your wrist is kind of hurt from, you know, having been bashed, and Shad just kind of grabs it and, you know what I mean, like it's like way too rough with something that is that difficult, that painful. So yeah, go ahead and roll a 1d8 for me, Shad.
1d8.
1d8, yeah, that's a critical failure.
Damn.
And
Stitch wounds don't tap veins, man.
Oh, there we are.
oh
though.
man,
saved.
Jesus, so lucky.
Damn it, chat. I'm not a dead body yet.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that makes you also immune to the treat wounds action for an hour. So, you have to wait a bit.
Just shaking my
Yeah.
wrist.
Yeah.
Damn it, chat.
So, all right. And then Hersian, what did you want to do?
Harshian, he's still
Hey,
raging.
you heard
And is
Harshian?
angry.
yeah.
Yeah, as he's just picking up the because he was told to burn the bodies, right? So
Fair
he's
enough.
just like
Yeah.
picking them up and just chucking them onto the big one, like making like a big pyre of
Fire.
bodies
Perfect. Okay.
before producing flame.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, you give a few moments because you do see eyes kind of checking over the bodies and taking something. So, finally, with that medicine check, you do kind of grab a hold of one of the bodies and you kind of, you kind of scrape off a bit of the meat and everything. But as you're looking over, specifically, each of these bodies, you come across something as you're looking at all of them. I'm gonna say, go ahead and give me a occultism check. But this is a very low DC, so.
All right. Yeah. 1 second.
Yeah. Jeez. My goodness. Well, thankfully it's a extremely low one. Yeah, checking over the bodies. You almost miss it because the way the bodies are kind of getting stacked up. But you see it on one, and then I'll say that causes you to check the others. Each of these undead creatures has some sort of I want to say like a brand, but a mark left on their body. It is a rune on each that is, for each of them, identical, I should say. And with that occultism check, as you see this rune on each of these creatures, you immediately know that there are many ways undead kind of come back into the world, right? With a mark like this, with a rune like this, these were corpses or bodies that were found and then infused with necromantic energy in order to bring them back to life, right? This isn't your typical, like, there are other ways that undead come back that don't have like a leaving mark on the body. This is a product of ritual rather than kind of like it's kind of weird to say, but like a more natural occurring type of magic, right? Somebody or something wanted to bring these creatures back to life, and they did a whole thing for it.
Okay. Question here is, since I did it on a nature check, so it's kind of treating them as creatures, can I get an idea of how like rotting or decayed, like how old the bodies were when they were brought back as zombies? Like, is it decades or like longer?
No, definitely not decades. Like weeks max. Yeah, based on the decayed form. Yeah.
So there's a possibility they could have been killed and used as to like.
Absolutely. Yeah, and based on the wounds on the body, the ones that you guys made, and there's probably some that kind of appear as more natural, like, like if these are mindless creatures kind of walking through the waste, maybe there's a chance, they kind of wound themselves on rocks of some sort. But there are clear wounds on each of these creatures that you're certain that weren't there or made by any of your party, and they're bladed.
Like not wounds that would have been like occurring from like walking through grass or mountains or whatever.
Yeah, nothing like that. Yeah, for sure a weapon of some sort.
Okay, so Ignis is gonna relay this to the party. Like, he's gonna make a sketch of the rune on a piece of parchment and just show it to the party, and he's gonna relay that, this seems like they're undead, but there's a ritual involved here, and my personal suspicion is that some of them may have been killed specifically to turn them into these creatures. And he's gonna say this, and then he's also gonna try and, once he's shown them these things, he's gonna get off to a corner by the cart and try and treat his own wounds, now that he's seen how good a job Shad's been doing.
Fair enough. Okay. And so, Shad, I think you're up next. Yeah.
Yes. So Ignis has passed on about the rune.
Yes.
Shad is very interested in this rune.
Okay.
So Shad will just sidle over to Ignis and Hello there. Could I get a copy of that by any chance? And while you're doing that, would you like me to take a look at your hurts, at your injuries there?
I'm happy to heal myself, but here, take the rune, and make your own sketch, and let me try and stitch myself up without like opening up a vein.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, there, sir. And you'll take it away. From Shad's history, does he recognise this?
So,
That's by the way, I think I also want to know if Scripture's familiar with the rune.
Yeah, fair enough. As you all take a look at it, Ignis though, with that 11,
I don't think so, because it says DC 15 on this.
yeah, so I think that's the baseline for it. So I would say,
Okay.
Yeah, you're trying to heal yourself up, but unfortunately, it just does not seem to be taking the way you would hope.
Just too distracted by Shad's amazing technique.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Self-preservation has distracted you.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Yes, fair enough. So yeah, for a check of this type, I mean, you can give me an argument for what type of check you would like to make. I think I'd default to occultism, but I would accept like Arcana or possibly even like a religion, if that's fine.
I'll go for an Arcana if you're happy with that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so can everyone roll this check?
Yeah, I would say you can also make the roll, whichever of your choice.
Oh, would have been better earlier, but I'll take it now.
I'm unaware.
Yeah. So with that natural 20 for a total of 24 on that check. As you see this rune,
He's gutted now. He's got to tell me all about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you all about it.
Shad's effectively going to level up twice.
Yeah. So, with a 24 total, damn. So, taking a look at this wound, Ignis is right in the way that he relayed that this is likely a product of some sort of ritual, right? There's definitely some planning, some skill involved in this, some know-how. But what you realize that you can see clearly that Ignis is not aware of, this rune. There we go. Let me pull up the details for you. Okay. You've had a lot of experience, right? Especially given your background, right?
Okay.
And in your background, you have seen this mark. The way magic works, I should say, especially when it comes to runic magic, right? The rune used is essentially a calling card, almost, right? Certain people can, use it, but if you know the source, right, you know the original creator of such magic, right? And you have seen this rune many times.
Oh shit.
In your past.
Oh shit.
The very one you trained under.
Oh.
The very one you trained under. This rune, at the very least, originates from them. So I guess describe to me, as you finally get a look on this rune and you recognize the absolute kind of presence behind it and the figure that created it at the very least. What is coming to your mind?
If Shad wasn't completely wrapped up with all his skin and flesh completely obscured from the outer world, he would be seen to be very pale at this moment. Shad's going to go very quiet and take on a slight tremor, because Shad is bricking it.
Fair enough. So, I'm gonna say, since you're up close, Escucho, and you're very perceptive, I mean, I'm gonna say you probably get a look at. You can see the very clear kind of manner change, and like maybe as you're even kind of holding onto the slip of paper that shows the rune, Shad, right? You're saying you said out loud, right, that you're kind of taking on a slight tremor, so your hand, right, wavers as you hold onto it and your body becomes very still. I'll say that since you're up close and since Ignis is kind of focused on trying to heal himself, Escucho, you see very clearly that this is deeply affected Shad, although, you know.
How like Chris, that's we like are like acquainted with each other and like maybe like seen each other on the street, but we don't know each other very well, right?
Yeah.
You'll know each other, but Shad will not have told anybody here about any of this.
Yeah. As far as like the background stuff, right?
Shad is running from this.
Yeah.
And so Itzano is close as well.
What's that?
Is no, Itzano. Ignis is like close as well right now.
To you, yeah. I mean, you're within 10 feet with each other. Ignis is focused on.
Right.
Yeah. Ignis is like trying to focus on
he's just
wrapping
like
up wound or
leaning
some
and...
sort. How like what is the shape of the rune? Does it look like anything?
I mean, if you take a look at it,
like just a very basic shape, like cloud watching or something. Like, does it look like any animal or something like that?
no, it doesn't have like an animal look. It has like a very runic look where there's like, you know, sharp lines, almost like a as if you took like to give you like an example, if you took like multiple like, I don't know, like Viking runes and kind of plastered them on top of each other, right? Like,
Right.
you know, sharp lines and stuff like that.
Then like Escucho would like look at Chad for a moment and then like ask him, no funny quip or no joke to make about this rune.
Well, you seem what comes with this. This is no laughing matter. Oh, I think we should be making a move, boys.
I think there's something you want to tell the group, maybe.
I don't know what you're talking about, but like you two or three other fellas came from those cliff tops there. Maybe this isn't the best place to be having this conversation right now.
That's perfect that you agree to have this conversation later.
Perfect.
We can have any conversation much later. Away.
Yeah,
This isn't a laughing matter. This isn't a laughing matter. Are you?
How do you find it funny? These poor, wretched figures and the imminent threat of more at any second. Now, really, have we not lit those bodies up yet? Can we not get a move on? I've got the horses all ready to go. Come on, get up, GG, woo!
So,
We'll get the horses going, but you have some explaining to do, I think.
all right.
Oh. Just whimpers.
Yeah. So, Herson, you kind of finish.
Can I make a?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I make an intimidation check? No, that would be an aggressive action. No, sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll say, well, I mean, you know, if we're going to go down that, we can make deception checks to try and bluff it off.
Sure. Deception. Well, I'm not trying to lie to you in this case. Like, this is just trying to be a little, just like playfully intimidating.
Yeah, but
I'll try to intimidate.
but
We should
Shad
roll
is
that.
definitely trying
try
to.
and bluff it off.
Yeah, Shad is
Yeah,
definitely
like we both
trying.
have like, we both have high charisma. Let's
Like,
do
is
it.
it like diplomacy or something?
I mean, Yeah, it would be
they're all
like
charisma based.
yeah. It
Oh
would
yeah, I could use
be-
diplomacy as
yeah.
well.
Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, like in the case of Shad trying to lie, obviously deception. But in the case of trying to like, kind of calm. I don't want to say calm the scenario, but like approach it in a peaceful manner. Ignis, it would probably be diplomacy. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm trying to like wrangle an answer out of him. Like I don't want to intimidate us for like opponents.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough. Yeah.
Diplomacy.
Yeah. I would prefer this role played, but if you want to roll it, I'd be okay with it too. And we can just make like opposing. You can make a diplomacy check. Shad can make a deception check, and whichever one comes out higher will be the one that wins over.
Yeah. Well, we can roll
Yeah.
play from there then.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure. All right, so I'll roll diplomacy.
All right. Gotta beat a 19.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make myself an expert. No, I'm.
Oh, yes.
Shine light.
You know you're being awfully defensive here. And you've been very glib so far. And now you see this and you stutter and you're very concerned about the state of things. Something's a bit off, friend. So maybe you want to enlighten us a little bit. If you know
Right.
something, it can help.
Okay, Ignis. Let's get on the road, and I'll fill you in on why I would like to move on. Okay, let's just get moving.
Sure,
Fair enough.
that's fair.
Honestly, as soon as we move in, we can role play the conversation.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with Chad. With both of you. Like, Chad. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Does Hersa need a hand setting the bodies on fire?
No, I'll
No.
just... No. No, I have produced flame. I think I'm A-okay.
Perfect.
Are you sure you would like a medicine check with that?
Yeah.
Looks towards, like, the quote-unquote treatment that's you guys have given to yourselves.
Yeah.
You people are awful with medicine.
Oh man. Yeah.
I
I
think
was
I'll need to
imagining.
teach you how to properly use those kits.
I was imagining like us three having like the serious conversation in the corner, and
Yeah.
like Hersian being in the background, still on raging, still like just producing flame over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the whole conversation, Herson, you've been kind of like stacking up the bodies neatly in a way that whenever you kind of start.
Neatly.
Yeah. In a way that when you start the fire, they're gonna be able to all catch, right? So as you kind of place them all, stacking them up like one by one, you move around and you grab a little bit of wood and maybe some grass and such to kind of help spur on the flames. And so as you kind of go around, you start to set the fire in the appropriate spaces, and as the conversation is happening between these three, you have successfully lit up and started the burning of all of these bodies. And so is there anything else you wanted to do while you were waiting for that?
Escape.
Fair enough. Actually, there was something that was said about checking the possible way forward between these two, deciding which one might have a bit more life to it as you take a look, because maybe trying to get a feel on which path Valdiras possibly could have taken, right?
While they're talking, I do want to take a look at the foliage between both paths. Right?
Yeah.
I want to see which path has the most lively foliage.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Not
maybe
being that
nature check.
You literally nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't we do a check like that before at the
We
beginning?
did.
Before the combat? I'm
No.
trying to remember.
I think it's good.
No.
Job.
No, it was trying to figure out the nature of the creatures that were in the road.
Nature.
Yep.
Roll.
11.
11.
Yeah, you go between the two. Doesn't seem like there's a significant difference between the two. So, either or could be good. Taking a look, I mean, both paths are optional. This path here, I should note, this path is the fast path. with possible banditry. The one above is the slower one, but less issues typically, and more of a scenic route.
Arceon is he's just going to look between the two. Kind of can't really tell. Trusting his judgment. Once he's done, he's going to go back. I think this path over here, pointing towards.
Yeah, just click and hold down. Just click and hold down.
Oh, hold down. Yeah.
There you go.
This path over here seems to be where we need to go.
All right. So, and that was also the path that was, I think, if there were no significant differences between the two, if there were no significant difference between the two, I think the default was you all are going to go down the shorter path just because it would be a bit faster, and time is a bit of an aspect here, right? Trying to catch up to the solemn. So, all right. So with no other checks or anything like that, you all jump into the wagon. Escucho, you take over at the reins, seeing as how I think you're the only one capable of
not bad.
Yeah. And so you take over at the reins and you lead the way, starting down the path that is I guess most dangerous potentially. And so let's go ahead and switch scenes, and let's see. I think the intention here, though, was to move at half speed, right? To ensure that you're not essentially caught off guard as you move along this this rough pace. So let me just double check the look of this real quick. Exploration activity.
Yeah, and like, what time of day is it? Like,
at this point, it's probably about like right at noon, right? So you've got a number of hours still ahead of you. And let me see. So, where is it? I think it was avoid notice, right? So you attempt a stealth check to avoid notice while traveling at half speed. If you had the swift sneak, you can move at full speed. If you had legendary, you can move at full speed and use a secondary. Okay, so, well, if you're riding along a horse-drawn wagon, right?
and did we even want to like move at half speed, or did we argue that we trust the caravan?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that was
I think we
just the caravan.
Yeah.
And I'm also like not sure if we can like avoid notice when we are like on a wagon.
Exactly on a wagon. That was what I was going to ask. But no, I think there was talk, and so I guess we should clarify real quick. The talk was that you would just travel at normal because the idea was hopefully or potentially that the Lord Francisco Alcon had cleared the way previously, right? Because there was a bit of blood, black blood that was kind of left on one of the blades.
I think that was the plan for the first day, wasn't it? At least.
Yeah.
Do the first day, go full pelt, try and make some ground.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think the later days when we are like further away from the city, like those were the days we wanted to move at half speed.
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So you start down the path that is a bit more treacherous, at least in I don't want to say theory, but at least in rumored to be. And so you start to make your way, riding at full speed, no issues there.
Depending on how long we travel, like I would like to give the reins to somebody else and have someone with a healing kit like treat me again 1 hour later.
Fair enough.
Someone else.
I can do that. I have a healing kit.
Someone who is
I probably won't like slit your wrists when I'm trying to fix up your hands.
Do you need proficiency in the kit, or is medicine?
Well, but I think first when we like leave the canyon or leave the junction, it's like still like talk to Chad, no? Or does something happen like immediately?
We can do it while we're moving, can't we? Unless Trill's got something that's going to throw some more zombies at us.
Yeah, you can definitely do it while you're moving. Sorry.
Like maybe like an hour and a half later, basically. like since we both use treat wounds about the same time, like we can try again in about an hour.
Yeah, you can definitely. You're immune to attempting it for an hour, but
Would you like me to try again, Escucho?
Have you even recovered your bearings enough to tell you? If you have recovered your bearings, you can spend your time telling us about the rune.
Yeah.
Remember, the last time he treated you, we were on a wagon that wasn't moving.
Yeah. So, Hersian, really quick.
I had a game question here.
What's up?
To use a medicine kit, do you need proficiency in a medicine kit or in the medicine skill?
You just need to have on your person healer's tools.
Oh,
I thought you had to be at least trained in medicine.
Let's see.
No, if you're we can just pull this up because it says if you're trained, then you can heal for more hit points. If you're not
Yeah.
trained, like that's all it says.
Oh.
Higher DC, more hit points healed. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like.
So, essentially, yeah. So, usually 15. If you're an expert in medicine, you can instead attempt a 20. Right. So, if you're trained, there's benefits to giving yourself a harder check, essentially.
Well, expert is not the same as trained, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
So, but
Expert's one tier above.
let me see. Yeah, allows any character, regardless of proficiency, to expend one use of it to stabilize. Sorry, whoops, that's the wrong thing.
So I was looking at Path Builder and it says treat wounds is trained only.
Really? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking at there now.
The only requirements it says that you're wearing or holding.
Administer first aid isn't trained, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's the one check for exploration, which everyone can do, and one for the combat.
Yeah, I think the combat one is the.
Yeah, that's the combat one. Yeah, that's the combat one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the exploration one,
sorry.
anybody can do it. It's just you're obviously there's more of a chance that you fail. So just a heads up.
Yeah, I've got the core rulebook here. I'm just looking in the glossary at the back. Treat wounds, skill action, restore hit points to a creature. Medicine trained. So it does say you have to be trained in medicine.
Really?
That's in the glossary on page core rulebook 249. Let me see what it says.
Healer's tools. So.
Okay. Because I was going to borrow a medicine kit, do it on myself.
So we've got treat wounds is under skills. Explosion, healing, manipulate. You spend 10 minutes treating a living creature.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at
requirements, you are holding healer's tools.
Yeah, I think because I'm looking at treat wounds as the exploration action. The only requirements are that you are holding healer's tools, and that is it. As long as you have a free hand. Yeah, so
that's what it says in the main entry in the book, but in the glossary it actually says trained. So weird.
I think we'll.
Yeah. I technically don't have healer's tools. I was just gonna borrow somebody else's.
You would
they
attempt
didn't mind. Yeah.
Yeah. That is something.
Sing
for
the
party
bang
to
up
say.
job. Everyone else is done here.
Yeah. That is
I mean,
you can't do any worse.
I mean,
yeah, I can't.
Are you trained?
worse.
Are you trained?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trained.
Yeah, you have as much of a chance as we do, actually. Better because you have wisdom, so you actually have.
Yeah, I actually have a
bonus.
+4 to my wisdom, to my not wisdom, to my medicine checks.
Yeah, because you got +3 from training and +1 from wisdom. So yeah, you have a higher base than either of us, actually.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot here. Please, please, please. Well, that's the highest we've rolled on a medicine check.
All right. That is.
All right, can I have my kit back now, please?
You can have your kit.
Thank you.
Or I probably would ask Ignis to try it. You would probably have Chad's kit, as nobody trusts Chad's to heal anyone, and Ignis would hopefully try to treat my wounds.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll just bleed a little more. by myself while I try to heal you. Yeah, can I try it?
Yeah. I mean, you can try on him. We'll
Right.
say that an hour has passed, and you've, so you can give it. He is no longer immune to the attempts
Yeah.
of treat wounds.
While all this is
So-
going on in the background, Shad's pulled a dirty handkerchief out of his pocket and he's wiping his knee.
Oh my
on it.
god! Oh my god!
Okay, like
ourselves.
Brilliant.
if you do good damage, I will salt your wounds. As a reaction, I will fucking poison you. And by the way, my blood is poisonous as well. Fuck you guys.
So, you gotta roll the
Roll
one
the
d8.
damage.
Yeah.
Did
You
you
attempt to
just
heal
watch
me.
it?
Roll the damage. Roll the damage.
Trying to help you.
Yeah, you're on a moving cart,
okay,
so as you kind of go in, holy fuck, man. Okay. What is that? Oh, you're attempting to.
Rolled. Yes, I feel.
I need you to roll me a 1d8 though, and you would have failed that
All right.
fortitude saving throw, so you are now poisoned. Yeah, we'll do the envenom rather than the salt wound, specifically because of the strike part of it. All
I
right.
lost 2 more points.
Well, who's a fancy pants healer now then?
Yeah.
Damn it, guys. My wrist.
blame
It's just my
you.
wrist. What are you guys
I
doing?
blame you.
Yeah. You're holding onto his wrist, and at first it's like, oh, nice. We're gonna be able to set like a splint of some sort, right? A wrap. And then you go over a rough bump, and your wrist kind of snaps in his hands, and you can hear kind of the bones crackling from within. Jesus Christ! And so
I'm gonna treat poison on myself now.
No, first you roll damage.
yeah, first you roll damage.
I did. Didn't I?
No, you didn't.
No, not for the poison.
Oh.
All right. While you're
What was the
rolling
1d8
that, Shad. The
Oh,
1d8
it
was for
was
his
stage
damage.
1?
That was for his
Fucking
damage.
died.
That was for hurting him.
Heal us.
Yeah. Every time they try to help you out, they're making it worse. You take one.
How does this Scoot show look at this point?
I have like half HP, but my teammates almost did me more damage than me.
Yeah, 1 damage.
Bloodied.
One
Yeah,
damage.
Escucho is bloodied, right? You know, he looks worse than how he did coming out of the combat. So
And
Well, it's just Scootio can lean over and hit him with a heal spell. if
okay, yeah,
he's-
you lean
he's a
over,
bit
you,
rough.
you put your hand right.
Now, no, don't flinch! Don't flinch like that.
get away from me! Get away from me!
Yeah. All right. This will be just
And,
we'll just hit the healing there.
You're gonna do the 3 action, right?
It all that does is just within a radius.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of us who are injured.
Oh,
Or
okay.
like
I
all
thought,
living
I'm
creatures.
poisoned.
okay, I thought it was just the one. Yeah, I'll do the 3 action one if Trill's okay with that.
Okay. Yeah. So you disperse positive
Delete.
energy in a 30-foot emanation. It's still just 2. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
so, it's
everybody
see-
heals up 2 points.
Sorry, guys. See, don't you feel better now?
I'm
Hercia just
Slight-
glares.
I'll say even the horses kind of they got like a little bit extra in their step as they continue on the road ahead.
So the horse is like Shad at least.
Yeah.
You still like to stick to the dead for now. For practice, maybe.
Fair enough. So all right. While all this is happening, Shad, are you basically informing them of the past that you have? How deep into that are you gonna get?
Some of it. We're not going all the way.
Okay.
Okay, boys. I said we'd have the conversation. You might realize that I'm not from around these parts. Yes, you boys are all pretty local. This is as far away as I can get in Ekros from where I last saw this sign. I am running for my life after seeing the maker of this sign.
So
Do you understand?
you successfully run like 10 feet from the node. Like, do you still have the node in hand, or like?
He's not running from the sign, he's running from the maker of the sign. And he has been running for what, like 3-4 months, and he's seen these.
Yeah.
That's why he's.
Just when you thought, just when you thought that you were out, they pull you back in. No, just when you thought finally you were somewhere where you could settle down, right? You don't no longer have to worry about looking over your shoulder. You come into contact with this mark particularly.
Well, where did you see the sign then, and who's the maker? If you know him or her or it.
The last time I saw this sign was in my home mountains, in Loch and in the Valdiras mountains. My tribe had been co-opted by this individual. I myself was convinced to work for him for a time, until I saw much the same or similar entities to what we've engaged today. My friends and former colleagues reduced to that, and I got the hell out of there.
Well, you were still very light on the details on who exactly were the thing you were working for.
I can't pretend that I ever really knew his name. He was my lord, sir. He was not a fellow that you asked a great deal of questions of. Do you get my meaning?
Scooter looks with like a look of understanding. He totally gets that.
So the question kind of becomes, if your lord was successful where he was, why would he be here?
I have no idea. I hope never to see this again. I have fled half the world to escape this. Damn it.
For me, the most more important question is why did you work for him? What did he provide? What did he want to do? Did he have a great vision? Did he want to bring about a better time? And Scooter has like a sort of dreamy look in his eyes.
A better time with a better time? Sorry, please go ahead. A better time?
Well, when he first began taking leadership of my tribe, he seemed like he was a charismatic fellow. He really was. He seemed to promise a better way. We were living just in the forests and the mountains, and he had a hold. He had a fortified place that he took, and he took us on as apprentices. But
did he want to bring him back?
him, I don't know who you're referring to there, but we learned healing. We learned the lessons of nature and healing and life, and it taught me much of my medical skills, now. But then I one day I discovered not one but two of my colleagues seemingly dead until they very much weren't. And the terror, and I just fled, and I've never looked back.
But by the way, when Chad says he has no idea who he could be, like Escucho was like getting more and more interested. It's like suddenly like his shoulders sink down, and he's like, oh, okay, I guess. He seemed very, very interested before, but now he's not as interested as he was.
So, sharing these details, moving along. Wait. Okay.
No?
Had to make sure. So, traveling onwards. In this time, obviously, the second attempt at healing, and then Shad will also kind of do the healing spell as well. Kind of like a emanating aura that, you know, kind of affects all of you. That'll also affect you as well, Shad, just so you know, as far as the
I'll
+2.
Put those 2 back, yeah.
So, an hour or 2 passes. You are sharing these details, right? You are moving at speed, not worried about, you know, being stopped upon the road or anything along those lines. You're perfectly okay with how things are going. And so, as you continue on the path forward, go ahead and all 4 of you make me perception checks. Okay. Double 18, so
I guess that
14.
works.
I mean, Shad would be looking out very warily at this point.
Sure, for sure. All really good rolls. Perfect. So, with a, well, I'll say, Escucho, Shad, and Hercian, the 3 of you spot it right away. It'll take you a bit, Ignis. You're maybe focused on something else. Maybe looking down at the rune, trying to, you know, with the words that Shad has shared, like maybe something is kind of changed, you know, like something is stirring in your mind, but you're not yet kind of able to pinpoint what the thought that might, you know, kind of burst to the forefront just yet. And so, Escucho, Shad, and Hercian, as you're traveling forwards, up ahead, you're finally kind of coming down from the canyon-like area of this mountains, right? All around you, the path is opening up. There are trees on all sides, right? Just open kind of nature. Much easier to be aware of things around you, right? Without these tall, like, walls of rock on either side of you. And so, as you kind of finally come out into the open, you can see the path before you, the valley up ahead, and the way that you know, need to continue along the path of sparrow, or the way of sparrows. There's a bend in the road upcoming, and you can see very obviously that this is a regular spot for people to pull aside, right? Just based on the way the dirt path looks, right? And you can see already kind of set up there, ready to go. There are a number of tents. There is a fire that is burned out, and there is a wagon, but no horses. But looking around, you don't see anybody else. You don't see anybody sitting by the fire. You don't see anybody in the region kind of, you know, getting wood or anything like that. It looks like there's a full camp kind of set up here, but nobody in sight. And so, as you kind of make this bend, you start to go. The 3 of you will pick that out.
Then first order, Escucho would like hold the wagon.
Okay, so you
Stop
slow
the
the
horses.
wagon down. Yeah, stop the horses. Yeah, and at this point, Ignis, you kind of look up from the rune and you can see, like, oh, and it's 4 tents. No people.
Empty. No.
You're kind of breaking up, but let me reconnect just to make sure it's me.
People. No.
Okay, so everything's good for me. If you can say something, Ice.
Sun check.
And then
Okay, you're good. I guess it was me. So yeah, as you look up, what did you say?
I said looks ominous.
It looks abandoned. I
Slightly,
would say.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess depending on your
Okay.
feelings on the matter.
Yeah,
could be
I've been looking
ominous.
at he's been looking at the rune. It's like he's probably just a bit on edge as well. So
Fair enough. Yeah. So you get a sight. Shad.
Well, now, will you look at that? Do you think they've got any coffee on the boil? That's
there's
some
just-
pretty much sort of like trying to get calmed down, and he's interested in going checking it out.
Fair enough. Yeah. You look over, kind of take a peek at where the fire is. There are a few pots kind of sitting around the fire itself.
I mean,
Or
this is
the
a
dead
bandit
fire.
road.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I jumped in. Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's fine. Well, because I wanted to like try to use my law skill scouting
Okay.
to like see if I can make out like any
Yeah,
signs of activity, like when was this camp abandoned, was there any fighting,
Fair enough.
where
Yeah.
could the inhabitants could have gone, where could the horse could have gone, and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make that check. Okay, with the 12 total. All right. We'll say you're scouting from the wagon, right? Without wanting to jump down and kind of walk into the middle of this camp. You're kind of looking from a distance to see if you can kind of gauge certain things. Taking a look, it looks like the fire probably died down, you know, a number of hours ago at the very least. You know, but as far as anything else specific, like where they could have gone, where the horses might have gone, from where you're at, to get a better look, you'd have to jump off the wagon and head into the camp to kind of make a much better detail of the scene. And so, Ignis.
We're still not directly in front of the tents, right? Are we like we're a little distance away?
Yeah, you're on the main road, and this kind of regular encampment area is kind of pulled off. So you're at least like 20 feet away or so.
All right. In that case, I don't know. Ignis would probably get off and approach carefully.
Okay.
Try to. Would gather information work here? Just to, well, although this creature's probably already done it, but
Information. Yeah, gather.
no, that's probably
information.
what's because like there's no people here. He just wants to see if there's anything that catches.
Yeah, I
his-
think
his
this
eye there.
would about the individual or topic. So, yeah, gathering information is kind of like going
Maybe-
around and talking to people,
Yeah.
right? So,
So
this would probably
maybe-
be like a perception check.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just roll perception if that's okay.
Yeah,
or-
yeah, fair enough. So you jump down, you start to make your way into the camp.
Yes.
Shad, you also said you jumped down and kind of started to make your way in, right? Looking for a pot of coffee or tea. Am I wrong about that? You're also muted.
So was
Yeah,
that to me? I had to
those-
step
Oh,
out.
yeah, that was to you. Sorry.
You have to repeat it. Sorry, I
Oh,
had to step out of the room for a minute.
Yeah, if you you said that you jumped off the wagon, you were starting to make your way to the fire, looking for coffee or tea, or did you not?
Yeah, I didn't jump off the wagon, but he made the quip about the coffee because he wants to go and have a look at what's happening in the camp.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so you would see Ignis, the first of the four of you, to hop off the wagon and start to make their way into the camp, kind of checking things out, a bit wary, right? Ignis, you probably have your weapon drawn, and the bell in the other hand. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Just
and
cautious and ready, kind of.
fair enough. Hurston, did you want to do anything in particular, or are you kind of waiting to see what happened?
Arcian does not have a good feeling about this. Last, like, major road mark that they ran into, they got jumped.
Fair enough. Yeah. So you stay on the guard, kind of watching vigilantly, just to ensure everything's all right. Escucho, having seen Ignis jump off, are you also willing to do that, or are you just watching?
What is what are like the surroundings? Are we still in like a canyon area?
No, you're like coming out of it. You're basically like the best way to describe it is probably like a hill, right? The path forward is kind of at an angle downwards, like you're coming.
Or like the most important
yeah.
question: are there trees?
There are trees, yeah. There are a number of trees.
In that case, if Hersion has not gone too far,
Mhm.
like Escucho would like attempt to stop him and like just say to him,
Okay.
maybe let me go first. I can blend in very well because I would then use my Terrain Stalker feature
Okay.
to basically be undetectable as far as I know.
Fair enough. Yeah, Ignis, how do you allow Escucho to move up ahead of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know he's an accomplished scout, so he'll be like, sure, you can take point on this.
Yeah, fair
If
enough.
there is some resistance, I can probably help.
All right. So we'll say that you get stopped, and you kind of that perception will be like a perception of the surroundings, which everything just seems kind of clear at this moment. So Escucho, as you make your way, kind of much more right, stalkerish, I should say, right, focused and quiet. Go ahead and give me a perception check to kind of look around the camp itself.
Yeah, I mostly want to look out if there's like any danger.
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
if there's like no danger, I will like beckon the others to
Absolutely.
follow.
15 total. Yeah, you look through, you check things out as you get close to the fire. You can still feel some heat radiating off it, so it's not that it's dead, right? It's down low, right? It's kind of smoldering, I should say, right? Like small coals, but it still has some heat to it as you kind of put your hand near. Maybe you check a couple of the pots, right? They feel pretty cool, but not as cool as they would be if they'd been here for like, a long period of time. These were heated up recently, and the pot still kind of retains some heat, but not a ton of it. And with the 15, as you look around, everything seems clear. The coast is clear. You take a look at where the horses possibly could have been. I mean, you're able to see some steps in the ground, but it seems like this path is relatively traveled. So where the horses of this wagon could have gone kind of disappears into the road.
Yeah, then I would like step into vision, like without like making much noise, but like clearly signaling that the coast seems to be clear.
Okay, so mentioning that everything is okay to everybody else. Shad.
I don't know if it's necessary now because I was going to cast message just to communicate back and forth with the Scuccio without him blowing his cover.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. So, yeah, with Terrain Stalker, he's able to kind of like maintain that stealth, right? Okay. Yeah, Escucho motions to you all that seems like the coast is clear.
Well, this seems like a nice campsite. Should we just bivouac down here for the night?
Yeah. Your back is covered for the most part, right? Like the camp, a good portion of the camp kind of up with this like a kind of rock wall, just a bit to kind of retain some of the heat from the fire. So at the very least, depending on where you choose to lay, you would certainly have something at your back that, at the very least, like nobody could sneak up behind you. And you would have essentially like a whole field of vision forward, but a lot of it is obviously the road itself, the opening and the road down through these trees, and then some kind of forest foliage. You can look all around.
How many tents were there?
There are 4.
Therefore, and like the large creature we fought against. Like, was it still like a human or like a humanoid, or was it like an ogre, or like what? Like, because it was like pretty was huge.
It was humanoid. It looked like a naturally large humanoid, like a human stretched to strange proportions.
Yeah, but there are like no signs of like any struggle or any fight in this camp.
As you look around the camp, no, nothing at all. Looks like everything. It just looks like for whatever reason the camp has been, whoever was here may have left their stuff behind to go, travel either up ahead or travel up the mountains through the woods.
Well, Chad, I think that this stuff still belongs to someone, like some tents, some cookware, and the wagon especially. I don't think people would just have left this thing to rot without anything special happening. So I place the gold is still a bit worn. Haven't been gone for too long. I would personally advise against camping in this particular spot.
All right.
Well, we could keep it warm till they get back.
I'd rather not be accused of thievery and unlawful trespass while we're on the road. Thing is, this is bandit country anyway, so if it was bandits, you'd see blood. You'd see signs of struggle. If it was magic, we'd feel something else, I think. As it is, I'm not getting a good feeling about this, but since there's no bodies here and no dead people, I'd say it's safer for us to move on and make camp somewhere that's not here.
So I should be specific. You haven't checked through the wagon, and you haven't been able to check through the tents themselves. So everything
Oh,
you
we're
see
still
is
outside.
yeah,
Oh, in that
right,
case,
sorry.
I'd like to check the wagon at the camp.
yeah, fair enough. Okay,
I think
all right.
we should check the tents and the wagons in pairs.
Okay.
Don't go wandering in by ourselves.
All right. So how do we want to split this up? Escucho and
Okay, I don't think
I
Shadow's particularly
will-
good at this.
I will go with Hersian because he's the only one who hasn't hurt me today.
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
No.
Escucho,
Don't
Hersian.
leave me
We'll
with
go check
him.
out the card.
No.
We'll go check out
Wait.
the card.
Well, Doctor, are you with me?
It's
You're the medicine expert. Can check for any healing tools or something that might not be rusted and broken.
fair enough. Okay, so but which groups what would you like to check, Escucho? Since you're kind of already in the camp already, we'll say you get first dibs on wagon or tent.
The wagon is like a wagon with like a thing, like it's not an open wagon, right? It's like a
Yeah, it's like a closed wagon. Yeah.
but it has like 4 wheels.
Yeah, it has 4 wheels.
And is there any like tent bigger than the others, or are they all roughly the same size?
They are all roughly the same size. It should note that each of these tents could probably fit a few people.
Yeah, then I would just probably check a tent, the nearest tent.
Okay, all right. So you start to check through the tents while Shad and Ignis make their way to the wagons.
Sure.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. So all 4 of you give me perception checks, which is essentially like a search check, or like an investigate check. It's the equivalent. Okay. So, all right. So, Hersian and Escucho, as the 2 of you start to check through the tents, just to be, to be sure. You would each kind of peek your head into one tent each, and as you look inside, on the ground there's a bedroll for a single person spread out, and that's it. There's no personal box, like personal items, right? Like your normal kind of chest that people tend to travel with in cases like this. And if the 2 of you continue on and look through others, you would see the same thing, right? A single kind of bedroll laid out, and that's basically all that it is for the interior of the tents, except for one. A single one will have inside of it a small box. Opened up inside of it, there is a small mirror, and it looks to be like a shaving kit, right? There's like a straight razor, and basically all the materials kind of spread some sort of substance on the face to kind of help with shaving. And it's kind of left opened with the razor like undone, and kind of laid half on the box, half inside. For Shad and Ignis, as you make your way over to the wagon, you would take a look inside, and inside you can definitely see that there's signs that this was used at some point. right? It was in use for sure. You can see wood scratches where things in the back of this wagon may have shuffled around. But as you look inside and kind of look through it, everything is empty. The only thing inside is basically dust and like dried mud or dirt that's kind of been, you know, probably tracked in by somebody climbing into the wagon and grabbing something. Yeah.
Well,
So-
now, Doctor, I do believe this is a wagon.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
I think I need a second medical opinion on that, given your track record.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, as the four of you,
Being around you, I just want you to know that. Let's. There's nothing remarkable about this wagon. Let's head back to the tents and see what they have found.
so, four of you reunite.
One quick question, like a mirror, like how expensive is it?
This is like a very small one. Like it's inside the box itself, and the box is like, you know, maybe a couple inches big. So it's like just enough for you to see your reflection if you're kind of like holding it up. So as far as like value of it, maybe like a box like this, maybe like 1 silver.
Yeah, so like it could belong to anyone basically, but it like
Yeah,
doesn't look
yeah,
like particularly
exactly.
fancy. But like a normal
Yeah.
person could also like afford a mirror.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially like one that's kind of built into this little box. That's basically like a shaver's kit.
Well, I don't know what you found, but the tents are empty, suspiciously empty. Like there's no one who travels like this with just a bedroll, like one shaving kit for 4 tents. This place is not normal.
Can I try and decipher if there's any like ritualistic or occult significance to this kind of arrangement?
Okay. Yeah, give me an occultism check as you kind of look around. Like, is there something hidden here, maybe? And as you make that check, Shad, what are you thinking?
It was a question for the DM actually.
What's-
These tents that we can clearly see. What size are these tents? Like Shad carries a pup tent. Are we that sort of size, or are these multi-people tents?
So they could like in a pinch of some sort, right? You could probably fit 2 to 4 people laying side by side in the tent, right? That's if you're trying to pack in as many people into the tent to sleep, kind of, you know, shoulder to shoulder. So they're definitely nicer tents than a typical kind of pup tent, right? It's but for like one person, this is like a nice tent for one person.
Okay, so with that, Shad's gonna say, you know, gents, this is pretty nice gear. I bought a tent for the you know, for being out and about, and it was nothing like this. These are worth money. What do you think, boys?
Get ourselves some new tents. Escucho.
You're damn right, we're gonna get ourselves some new tents.
So,
You can keep the tent.
Escucho.
Yeah, I wanted to. You said there were like pots or like the cooking place.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah, I want
a
to
pan
like
and,
yeah more closely investigate the pots. Like, are they cleaned?
yeah. Yeah. So
And
you
is there like
can-
any way for me to tell what, like, if they're not completely clean,
fair enough.
or like what might have
Um,
been cooked or what might have been in them?
Yeah, so there's definitely a pan that is definitely not clean. As you kind of take a close look, you can, with a quick kind of waft, right, of like your hand to kind of get a sense of what was cooked there. Definitely like a fattier piece of meat, maybe some piece of pork was probably cooked on this, as well as eggs. You know, like whenever you hard fry an egg, you know, sometimes there's like a little bit left in the pan. So definitely was cooked, and it's definitely kind of recent, you know, at least today, based on the way it looks. And as you check the pots, yeah, there is a half full pot of what smells like coffee, and again, it's like lukewarm at best, to the touch. And so as you're checking the pans, and as Shad is starting to break down one of these tents to pack up for himself, Ignis, you kind of go around the encampment and you're trying to see, like, is there something here that, signifies anything at all, or any type of strange influence. You don't see anything. No. Yeah. It just seems like people were here for whatever reason and they're not here anymore. It doesn't look like there's no blood, there's no marks, there's no kind of runes or anything of that sort. There doesn't look like there was a struggle in this camp at all, right? Looks like a basic just camp that was set up. Yeah. So
They just set up and left. He's just like, she's gonna scratch his head and he's like, this is,
yeah.
Bandits would have left traces. This is just odd.
They didn't even finish their coffee.
You see, I think the bandits would have taken the wagon and the tent.
Hersian.
Why wouldn't the bandits leave it here to attract people, right? This is quality gear. And a good spot to set up at that.
At this point, like, how nice are those tents? Are like, I imagine that they were like normal tents, or like, are they anything special? Or,
Yeah, I mean, it's like
give me a value.
Yeah, like a basic pup tent, right, is basically like just almost like a sheet and a stick that kind of keep the rain off of you, that you kind of lay underneath. This is like a proper walk-in tent that you can, you have some space around, and again, it's probably about 4 people wide if they're all laying, normal human size, and probably about like 8 feet long, right? So probably
the meta knowledge there isn't an insignificant value difference between a pup tent and a 4-person tent. I looked at this when I was packing out Shad. They cost a bit more than your basic pup tent.
Yeah. So yeah, I think like if you take a quick look at it, I think like a pup tent is like, I think raw like 8 silver. A tent that like this is probably about 5 gold each. So there's definitely a significant price difference between the two. But not in like, I say that to say that like this kind of tent wouldn't be out of reach for like a normal person either, right? Like 5 gold, like somebody with, well enough could probably get up 5 gold, especially if they're traveling a lot and stuff. So yeah, this is not a tent of like the extreme rich. It's just like the tent of somebody who likes to be outside, basically.
Yeah, but if we have finished picking up those tents, I still propose we move away from here.
Okay.
And what time in the day is it? Sorry.
Yeah, so it's been about it was noon when you broke from the path, right? You chose which direction after the combat, and it's been probably about 2 hours now. So yeah, so it's probably about 2 in the afternoon or so, and so you've got at least like a good 3 to 4 hours left of sunlight. Hersian, what do you want to do? Was it involving breaking down the tents and stuff?
Oh yeah, let me get rid of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Damn this.
In that case, I think we will just keep moving if nobody wants to do anything.
All right. Perfect. So you take the time to take all 4 tents. Is everybody here happy with getting their own nice tent?
If we pack them up, I guess. And if an hour has passed, I would go to Hersian now.
Yeah.
and borrow a healing kit.
Hersian
my
can
man,
take my healing kit.
You looked like you could do more harm, more good than those two fools.
All right.
Would you
Let's
mind
get
trying
that.
to patch me up?
Let's get that medicine checkers in, and let's hope, for the love of God, it is not a third time in a row.
Please don't hurt me.
Fail again. You lose your medical license, I think. Become
So-
a pharmacist.
Yeah, pharmacist, absolutely. So let's see. Yeah, just a straight medicine roll, since we already know the rules of it.
The anticipation's killing me.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably
Yeah.
going to kill Scoocho, actually.
End up being a good roll, I'm sure.
Huh. Did it not roll?
I'm not seeing it.
We're not seeing it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Here.
Okay. So
Okay.
Official
finally,
doctor.
finally.
Hand over your medical certification right now.
And
Yeah.
so that would actually be with a 22 total. That will be. Go ahead and roll 2d8. 2d8.
2d8.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
12 points.
thank God.
You
You
heal up.
think I was like, you actually know what you're doing.
Yes.
I can kiss you.
Please don't.
So, yeah. Let's say that
He's off. Mhm.
Hersian, you grab a hold of Escucho's wrist, and at this point, it's been rough. I'll say at this point, maybe it's been offset by all of the kind of attempts at healing it, and so Hersian, you kind of grab it with both hands, and with a quick kind of let's say like a wave of your own arms, right? You hear a crack, and then everything sets back in place. Escucho. And so, you're healed up.
Ignis and Shad, we loosen the jar.
Yeah.
This is basic medicine. I would hope doctors here know how to do this.
Okay.
Here, let me show you. As he's going to also start healing up himself.
Did you see the poor technique there, Doctor? Isn't it terrible? You know, when amateurs just get involved.
All right. And as you go to heal yourself, unfortunately, it seems you have used all of your skills with taking care of Escucho. And so as you try to, maybe the wound is like on your back, and you're trying to kind of reach behind you and get at it, but you just can't reach it. You can't, properly take care of this wound, unfortunately.
Would you like a hand there, Hersian?
I can't reach my spine.
I saved one from one of
I
the
think you-
zombies. Here you go.
No, unfortunately. Oh wait, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, because unfortunately he's immune to the treat wounds, so he can't take a second. So
Yeah.
all right. So if that is all, you load up 4 brand. Like I don't want to say they look brand new, but for you they're brand new. 4 gently used tents. You load them, you pack them down up into the wagon, you set them in, tossing the bedrolls, wherever they may be, around the campfire. You load them up, and you jump back on the wagon and continue your path forward. And so, we'll say...
boys... Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Boys, with these tents, we're already nearly in profit on this trip.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you mostly in this for profit?
Why, what are you here for?
Well, to explore. As you can tell, I'm not exactly from here.
Shad,
Well,
I think that means he forfeits his part.
I
I
do
was
need
out
some
by
gold to
Lorenzo.
sustain myself.
I
Unfortunately, the wildlife
No.
here is not the same back home.
No one's forfeiting payments. The money's coming from my order. I'll make sure everyone gets a fair payment and no one gets less than they deserve. I'll appeal for at least that much.
Fair enough. So, you continue on the path forward, making your way ever closer to your ultimate destination. And so we'll say that the hours roll by. You are able to you're able to travel unharmed and unbothered. And finally, as night falls, you find what appears to be a pretty safe location. In this regard, the safe location that you'll kind of find is basically pulling off to the side of the road, and around you, at the very least, is open, so you are able to see around you without any issues. Nobody will be able to sneak up. There's no tall grass, and any tree line close to you is far enough away that you would see them on approach. And so you all jump off, set the horses, get them some water if needed. And are you setting up with the new tents?
For this, I have I guess sort of a mechanical question.
Sure.
In the terrain stalker feed, when it says you are undetected and you can sneak without attempting a stealth check. When I sleep in a tree, on top of a big branch or something, does that is it affected by terrain stalker?
When you sleep in a tree, we'll say that it does. You don't have to really make a stealth check. I think what that means though is it's almost like assurance, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of against. They would have to perceive you, right, rather than you making a stealth check against their perception.
I think they had to actively search. I suppose if I don't move and I'm still in a tree and I have
yeah.
I would
It's
really
not like you'll mess up the sneak.
Yeah.
It's more of getting caught.
Yeah, it's more that's exactly it. So instead of you making the roll to be sneaky, it's them having to make the roll to be able to even perceive you, right?
And they had to know to look even at some randos
exactly.
In the trees, because I would think that it's it would be a habit of a Scucho, when the weather is clear, or when he thinks there's no chance of rain. And I think the area is relatively dry. Is that correct?
Yeah, relatively dry for sure. Yeah. So
probably Scucho probably wouldn't set up in a tent, but instead wrap his waist around the tree so it doesn't fall off. Or if he falls off, he's still caught, and I prefer to sleep on a big branch.
Okay, all right, yeah. You look around, and probably about 35 feet away from the camp, there is a tree line where you could find a decent sized tree to set yourself up against. So for the other three though, will you be using the brand new tents or?
Chad is going to use his pup tent for now because the bigger tent is just money. So
fair enough.
He's gonna keep that keep that for later. Question I've got for the group is: are we setting watches?
We
should set watches. I think. Yeah.
So so is nobody using the new tent? Is what I should ask then. If there's anybody who wants to.
I think Ignis is going to hold off on using the new tent, but he will want to take rest on. He will want to rest up on the first watch because he needs to recover his health.
Fair enough. So okay. So nobody choosing to. You leave the new tents in the back of the wagon. You all each kind of set your own pup tent. Right. Very simple. Takes no time at all. You're able to set them down, and so there should be a few clarifying things, especially with resting and sleeping, right? So the way it works is this is a party of 4, so you can do let's see, so characters require 8 hours of sleep each day. Thus, resting typically happens at night, a group gains the same benefits of resting during the day. You can only gain these benefits of resting once every 24 hours. So if you rest for 8 hours, you recover in the following ways, right? You get your HP equal to your Constitution modifier back, multiplied by your level. So this will just be like straight 1, or whatever it is. If they rest without any shelter or comfort, you might reduce this healing by half, so to a minimum of 1. You will not have the fatigued condition. If you have any other conditions like doomed and drained, and then you'd be able to regain your spells. So the 8 hours of rest that you need does not need to be consecutive. However, right, and so after an interruption, you can go back to sleep. If you sleep in your armor, you result in poor rest, and you will wake up fatigued if you do not, which is a condition. If you would have recovered from it, you would still have it. Obviously, if you stay up longer without, you'll become fatigued. And then, so who is wearing what, right?
It's the same for like heavy, medium, and light armor.
Correct. Unless there's a specific thing about the armor. Unless the armor has a specific condition or a specific stat. Let me look at it. It has to be like comfortable, I believe, is the name. But it needs a. Where is it?
Yeah, it would say like in the item condition.
Yeah. It's there's specific types of armor that allow you to sleep in it without taking any negative conditions.
Escucho would like dwarf his armor, so he like feels relatively secure in a hidden energy. Even but when he's on watch, he would like put his armor on.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So perfect. Okay. And Shad, Persian, and Ignis.
Ignis is in chainmail, so he's gonna take it off.
Okay.
He's got his bedroll in his tent, so he'll just so he'll sheath the sword, doff the armor. Can you doff the armor on this, or?
Yeah, you can just click it and just make it. Well, you basically have to change it to, I guess, dropped or something. I don't know, but no issue there. Okay, so yeah, you remove the armor at the very least.
Remove the armor, get into bed.
Perfect. Okay. So.
Farsian's unarmored, so.
Oh yeah.
No need to worry about it.
Yeah, you sleep just fine. And Shad.
Shad will remove his armor while he's sleeping, but obviously put it on while he's taking watch. Now, about taking watches, what's the daylight situation when they make camp, or by the time they finish making camp?
By the time you finish making camp, you're definitely in the dark, right? So you can set a fire, get that going. And so we'll say that since everybody only needs to rest, basically for. Since there's 4, I think for everybody to get an appropriate rest.
10 hours?
I think it's 10 hours, yeah.
2-hour rest? 2-hour watches?
Yeah, 2-hour watches.
4-hour watches be more useful, or 2-hour watches is like.
Again, you would.
It doesn't divide up well.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Remember,
you gotta account for the time in which the first person takes watch.
Yeah, so like exactly. So if the first person wants to take watch, they'll watch for 2 hours, right? And then they get to rest 8 hours, right, to be able to get the benefits.
Right. Oh, right. To it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I'll set it by. So it'll be 4 perception checks through the evening. Each one of you taking a 2-hour watch. So.
Do we get any circumstance bonuses for dark vision or low light vision?
Dark vision or low light vision. For keeping watch, sure. We'll say there's a +2 if you have low light or dark vision.
Yeah, well, I've got both.
Okay, so it'll just be +2 straight. So I think that's a +2 for Escucho. So it'll be 14 for Escucho. Hersin, do you have? we're gonna use the first roll, unfortunately. Oh wait, that's a medicine check.
Yeah, that's a medicine
Okay,
check.
all right. I saw like a bunch of dice go, and I was like, okay, so that's a 23. Shad,
Oh, yeah.
that'll be. Oh, you added it,
That's
so that'll be.
with
16.
the +2, yeah.
Okay, and then Ignis.
No, I don't have
A
dark
natural one.
Oh, Doctor.
This is.
And we said
Oh
that
my
Ignis didn't want to
God.
take the first watch. So the way it works is we're going to do Escucho, Hercian, Shad, and then Ignis. Each of you taking watch as you rolled,
God.
right? And so, through the first 6 hours, everything is fine. Everything goes well. Escucho, through your evening, you have no issues whatsoever. Hercian, through your evening, no issues whatsoever. Shad, through your evening, no issues whatsoever. And Ignis, as
I
you
have
sit on
low
watch,
light vision, I think, but that's still like
that would just make you an 8.
8. That's
Yeah.
that's
And
still 8.
it's-
That's
and
still
it's-
less than 10.
And it's still technically a natural one, right?
Yeah, it's still natural 1, so it's
Unfortunate.
Damn it. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So, as you take watch, you are, I don't want to say bothered. Did Ignis have that dream? I should ask. Sorry, I just want to clarify.
Yeah, he
You
did.
did?
He did. I think
Okay.
that came up in the first session.
Yeah. As you rest, right, trusting the others around you to take watch and ensure, your well-being through the evening. You go to sleep with a few things on your mind. That rune, the hungering star, and that dream, right? That the whole culmination of all of these things, right? It's been not that long. It's been a couple of weeks since you've had that dream, right? You and every other person in the world shared, right? This singular experience that you've all kind of, only you and those people can truly understand. And so when you wake up to take your watch, right, when Shad comes over, kind of pulls you awake and allows you, kind of gives you a moment to get your bearings before calling it an evening for themselves. You're troubled. You are troubled by what these things could mean. The words of Shad, how he described, running from this rune specifically, attempting to stay far away, right? To escape from some path. That this weird dream that, in some way, like, depending on how you view it, there's something there. So you spend the majority of your watch sitting by the fire that you have, just fully focused into the flames. And as you're on watch, as you are doing your best to, just kind of keep an eye on the things around you. But again, clearly unsure of what these thoughts are kind of bringing up or building up to. You hear a snap of a twig behind you, and you turn quickly to face whatever this is. And that is where we will pause this session and pick up next time. So, all right. We are going to break here, pick up next time, figuring out what happened during this watch, where it goes, what it means. And so, I'm going to go to sign out on the stream and everything. I'll be back in just a moment. So, all right. So, survive the attack. A lot of great rolls, absolutely. A bunch of natural ones, which is rough, especially when they hit. But it seems strange because, like, despite those natural ones, the damage rolls just didn't really build up, right? The one being hurt this whole time took a 1 and then a 2, right? So literally back to back, the lowest possible damage rolls they could have taken from a critically failed medicine check. But either way, we'll pick up next time here, figuring out what broke that twig behind Ignis. But in any case, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. It definitely makes for a laugh, absolutely. If you'd like to get involved, the best place to be is the Discord. That is the place that I recruit first whenever we are doing the next cycle of games. We are obviously on session 3, so it'll be a little bit of time, but at the very least in the coming weeks, we'll be looking towards the future and the next cycle of games. So if you'd like to get involved, that's the best place to be. We have a great community, a lot of fun people, very, very much an inclusive, fun community. Thank you all for watching. Hope you had a good day or a good evening, depending on where you are in the world, and maybe we'll see you next time. So thank you all.